Yeah. Okay. So the question you had was, can we figure out like how we're gonna open Monday? Correct.
Correct.
Alrighty. Let's
Or at
share
least get a
the.
sense. And for example, spy.
Oh, let's start with. You should be able to see my screen now.
Not yet.
Today.
Yep, there it is.
Yep. Okay. Let's just go. All right. Let's start with the basic chart.
Okay.
Um. Oh, we have here. So here's SPY. First things first. Let's go to a higher time frame. Right. So we
What
can
time?
see. If you're looking to primarily day trade, I always start most of the time with a weekly, daily, and work my way down just to get an idea what's going on. Occasionally, I even go as far as monthly. So let's do that. So what happens is it gives you a complete idea of what is going on. So
Okay.
here's your monthly, so we get an idea. So obviously, you had a nice dip down here. We're in an uptrend. We pulled back a bit, but it's not a full confirmed downtrend on that high of a time frame. Okay, so we're dipping down. Month's not over yet. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly. Okay, we're starting to break down. Do you see how that candle closed
Yeah.
last week?
Yeah.
Or that would be Friday. So you came down, down. This is a nice push down. Now, I want you to take a look at this body and look at the wick, how we closed last week. What is that
It,
telling you?
it looks like a hammer. So does that mean it's going to go up?
Doesn't mean it's going to go up, but the probability is starting to lean that way, right?
Yep. Yeah.
That's telling you your candle opened. What? Let me get my little tool here so it's easier.
Is it the hammer? Is that a hammer? It looks like a hammer.
Yeah. On a red candle like this, you opened here, right?
Yeah.
You pushed up a little bit here. It
So
got
now
pushed
it's okay. It's back
all the
with
way
it.
down to this level.
Uh huh.
And the hammer tells you it closed here. So this area here is telling you we got a bunch of buyers, which makes sense because I have this nice push off here. See that?
Yes.
So that's telling you sellers try to beat this down. Buyers said nope. And you also look at that volume too.
Right.
Volume is pretty higher. If you look at this volume, you have the same thing. You have a large amount of volume coming in as red. So guess what? We push down afterwards. This another like pivot point, if you want to consider it, which would be a higher low, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's higher than that low. This one.
Yeah.
Look at
Yes.
the volume. So you're some of those are telltale signs that you will be looking for. So now,
Okay.
from a weekly standpoint, I'm thinking, okay, this could be not confirmed. Remember,
Right.
anything we do in technical analysis and trading is what? Probabilities, right? So
Correct.
probabilities is telling me, looking at that candle structure, looking at the volume coming in at that point, looking how it is on a weekly, looks like we pushed up. We're trying to push out of this, right?
Yeah.
Now let's get down to the daily.
Okay.
Now the daily is looking like this, right? So these are your candles for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right here. This is what happened last week. You pushed down, came up, got a nice push all the way down, and then boom, we get a nice
Then you
big
said you want to be a car
red.
rider?
So
Mm-hmm.
Really? Is that what you said? I'm working on it, okay?
Okay, get that. Da. All right. So, what we can do here now, and if you guys know how I probably trade, I use a lot of structure, liquidity zones, and anchor VWAP. So, we'll throw those on there and show you. But for now, you get an idea of what I'm talking about as the bias, right? And then from a daily time frame, obviously, we're in a downtrend, right?
Yeah.
Because if I was going to map this out from here, you got kind of this action going on right now.
Right. Hmm.
There,
Yeah.
correct?
Correct.
Now, to confirm a push to the upside, what do you need? Just looking at this structure. No, nothing else.
Hmm.
You tell me.
I don't know.
No, no. Okay.
Probably
Um,
the higher high, right?
Well, it looks like
correct.
it's going up.
Correct.
แม่ก็ดู
What's a basic
ดู
market
ที่ศูน
structure?
ย์เยอะ
We have
I
something like
guess
this, right? It's not always as perfect
yeah
as I'm drawing, but so what are you looking for?
what's it need more liquid it need more water
I got
Sorry,
lost.
that's okay. I had to mute them real quick. This is
I have a
what we call basic market structure, right?
right.
You know, a point here, high, higher
Yes.
high, right? Higher
Yeah.
low, higher low. So when
So it could
this
go
gets up
down.
here, right? This is a
Yeah.
lot of times we would like to call at this point. What do we like to call that? A breaker structure, right?
Hmm. Okay.
Right at that line.
Right.
Okay. And we can mark it up
I
if we
I have a
want.
I have a 561 put that's open right now.
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
You got to see what's going on first, right?
Exactly.
So let's take a look. And then we can figure out. So there we go. All right. And at this point, if you wanted to say, you could be looking for a break of structure right there, right?
Right.
That's what you need on this side here. So right now, what do you have? You have a lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high. Kind of a lower low almost. So that is a lower high. This point now is either a lower low,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you wanted me to mark it up, we can do that. So lower high, lower high, lower low. And then we can throw on some other things to take a look at, get an idea what's going on. But for
Uh-huh.
now, I like to always start with a clean chart.
Yeah.
So you get an idea. Picture it without any indicators, without anything. This is what I mean by reading candles. Reading what the chart is telling you. Then you use
Hmm.
indicators to help you out to confirm what you're seeing. Okay. So there you go. So my potential what breaker structure would be what? Here, right?
Okay. So it could go as probably could go as high as 576 and then it would go back down.
It is possible. Looking at it daily. So if
Okay.
it gets above here, is what? A confirmed breaker structure, right?
Right.
So it went from, if it broke through here, it's possible it could do something like this. It might come back and retest this level. From
Right.
up here, or maybe run right through it. That's completely possible.
Oh,
Then most
right.
likely it will pull back, undercut it, maybe down here, here. That's a possible structure. It could undercut it. That would be a possible structure. So at this point, once it breaks, you're gonna probably say, you know what? I'm leaning a tad bit bullish here. I don't know
Right.
why we have this echo going on. Let's call that off. Okay.
What if it's shy of that break?
That is a possibility. You could do something like this with FOMC. That's Wednesday. You could get completely this action.
Right. Well,
Now,
with a put call, that's what I would, or excuse me, with a put order, that's what I would prefer.
correct. With a put, that's what you would prefer. But over here, what are you looking for now? I want to see a break of this line. This point right here, right?
Yeah, 547.
You know, if it does something like this. No idea what's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody does. But looking at the chart, what I'm looking at is, hey, where are my pivot points? Where can the stock possibly change and do? And your big thing is you have FOMC on Wednesday. So Wednesday, I think, might be your big day to either going to go like this, or you could go like this, and then we continue to the downside.
Yeah. Well, it expires tomorrow, my order, my trade.
Well, for tomorrow, well, how can we possibly figure out what's going to happen for tomorrow?
Yeah.
We kind of can't, but these are
Right.
your scenarios that we figured out for possibly tomorrow or going into this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's take this off. What you can do on a lower time frame, and I think I put this in the chat. Let's take all this off.
But with the wolf chart, the trend line seems to be coming down.
One, I don't use a wolf chart.
Okay.
Two, regarding the trend line, you're talking about the diagonal looking trend line on there.
No, the 12 EMA and the smooth line that he has. So
Okay. That I can give you an idea what it is. I have an idea what the indicators are, but let's continue on with this, and then I can show you with some other ideas, and if you have an EMA, what it'll probably look like. So now you want to see, okay, you have a put, you said expires tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So let's go to a lower time frame, and you can see, I think I put this in the chart, and you have, if you notice on the chart, here's a 30. Mind you, I want you guys to know is I'm doing all this without any indicators, nothing, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then I'm trying to say, oh no, I can do this without. The point is, if you start learning it this way,
Yeah.
you really get to learn a skill. You're not dependent on, oh, it's above this EMA, it's above this line, it's above that. I want you to, you know, it goes back to like how I guess I tell my kids, hey, use your head a little bit. What do you see? Tell me. Then let's take it to next. And I put this in the chart, in the chat. I'm sorry, on Discord, the Discord chat. There, you have something like this going on.
Right.
This is a 30-minute. So all the way back from the month, this is all Spy's been doing
Mm-hmm.
on a 30-minute.
Yeah.
So it was pretty easy. Once you saw this happen, pull back. You could have got in here, day trade, came down, gap down, beautiful. You would have made bank. That one a little bit gambly, but I know there's a lot of gamblers in there. You could have took it from here the next day open, Monday, rode it all the way down to the bottom of that channel, back. And you see how
Yeah.
easy I'm showing you to make it.
Yeah.
But what do you see here? If I zoom in right here and I put this in the chat for Friday,
Well, it broke it. It's way above it.
what did you do? You broke, you retested it, and you busted out with a nice, good sized candle right here.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people were screaming puts about Friday, I said, don't. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, oh no, SPY's going to drop. It's going to die at 545, 540, which is possible. I could be completely wrong at that time when I posted that. But looking at all this, just the structure, I was like,
Yeah.
no, it's breaking out of the channel that it's been in for what, 2 weeks, roughly?
Yeah.
Going on three?
Yeah.
I saw this. Now the question is, well, Face, how come you saw this? One, you have this channel that it's holding.
But we see a gap, right?
Right.
We see a gap also, right? Between 550 and 554 or whatever. So is that going to be corrected? Yeah, that gap.
No, we have plenty of gaps. There's a misconception that all gaps get filled.
Hmm.
That is not true. Here's the SPY daily. And since you asked about indicators, you can't spot them manually. Let's go. These are gaps that are not filled on SPY. You have this to the downside. This never got filled. That's from last year, May. This early February 24th, all the way to 2023. Here it is to 23. So, do normally gaps like to get filled or tested? Like here? Does it mean they're going to get filled? No.
Okay.
So
So if it,
just because you see a gap doesn't mean immediately, oh no, I'm going to put a short to fill that gap, or I'm going to go long to fill that gap. No, don't. That is not a rule.
yeah. Is it significant when it breaks the channel? Like what we
It
saw?
can be, because if you guys went through my liquidity areas, you have liquidities at particular levels, but you can also have liquidity right here.
Where?
Right along that trend line and the bottom of this. Because I'm not the only one who probably saw this pattern, right? So what did people do? Most likely, every time I got near the bottom of that channel, they went long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every time I got to the top of the channel, if someone saw it like me, they went short. So what's happening? You're getting all these, sell orders at the top of the channel, probably buy orders here, all along this channel waiting. So every time it hit, people bought, right? Here.
Yeah.
If I take that off here, which you'll also see by what? Volume. You see that? Not
Yeah.
exactly to the channel, but you see the spike volume come in
Yes.
right about here. Gets to the around here, you start seeing this one was kind of wonky. The volume was a little bit light, so that's probably why it didn't hit the top. But you can see that, okay, tight candles, larger candle breaking back in. You could say, you know what? There's your break, a retest of this level, which would have been about the 575.50 line, and then go the rest of the day. So there's a couple of different ways to look at it. But as far as liquidity goes, here.
Uh,
Now if you go here, let's
where?
turn this one off here. I want you to look at off the 30-minute. What do you see right here?
I see a dip. I see a
You
lot of
see a
candles
dip.
going. Yeah.
But look
Yeah.
at the candles. What did you do? Came up, wick down, wick down.
Consolidation.
You
It's
see a
fighting
wick down here.
562 resistance.
It's resistance.
You get a good area of supply resistance. Whichever terminology you want to use, it's pretty much all the same. I keep seeing bouncing right there. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now let's throw in a little of my favorite liquidity. What is it and how it works? Right? What is that telling you right above here or in this area? What's going on right there?
More resistance that it's not getting above it.
That is true, but why? I want you to think it through. I mean,
Oh.
depending on how you draw this, you can draw
Taking
it.
liquidity.
I'm sorry?
Taking liquidity.
Okay. They get liquidity. What type of liquidity is there? What type of orders are up there?
Lots
Sell.
of sell orders.
You got a bunch of people right about that area doing this, right? So I said in the chat, and I think Chris also put on his announcement that if it doesn't get over 564, he said,
Yeah.
and then
And
I put my post out, and people were like, "Oh, well, Chris said this." I said, "We're saying the same thing." He gave an exact line. What did I do? I gave you an area to look at because it doesn't necessarily just mean it has to touch that line, right?
that's why I bought the put at 562 when it didn't break 562. Or when it was at 562 and it wasn't breaking 564. And I'm like, oh, okay. He said it was going to go down if it had to break 564. So I bought a put at 562 and then it went up. And he said it was going to go down or,
No, he said, and I remember what he said because I put a similar type post, that if it doesn't break 564,
that it would crash to
then it would
550.
crash. You bought early.
Well, okay. So help me with this then. If it doesn't, so how I read it was like, okay, if it didn't break 564,
Mm-hmm.
or it needs to break 564. If it doesn't break 564, it's going to crash to 550. So at 562, I'm like, it was staying at 562, and I'm like, okay, it's not
Correct.
breaking 564, so I'll buy my put now, and then write it down.
But why? Tell me why.
What?
That last push, if I dropped to a lower time rate, because I saw that at the end.
Yeah.
It
Well,
didn't test that 564
because
up
I thought,
until the last, what, 5 minutes.
exactly. Because I thought in my newbie mind that 562 was I thought 562 was it. Like it wasn't going to 564. So I'm like, okay, so I'll buy it now. I'll buy a put now. And I want to be corrected so I don't do this again. Was I supposed to wait till
I would have, and I'll give you a couple of reasons why.
I mean, I always wait for that candle to finish, right?
That is one way of doing it. And what I would do, as many people probably know already, I'm a break and retest type person. Okay. So for me, I like a little confirmation. I'm not going to take the break right when it goes. Because most likely, it might push up. I'll let it go. Come up here until I see it do maybe this. This is the spot right here. That's where I'm going to get in.
So you're going to wait. I thought it was done at 562. That's why I bought the put at 561 put.
You have all this area. If I wanted to make this bigger, which I think Chris, this is I think what Chris is looking at, more or less, and that's probably why he called 564, which makes sense. Okay. Sorry to mute somebody else there. Too much background noise. Okay. So we're looking this area here, and you can see how I respected it, right? This is why he said 564, and I think I had like 562.50 to 563 something or other. So basically, I was looking at a smaller time frame, but I'm looking at this area up here. So we were saying the same thing. And like
So-
anything, no one has a crystal ball, so it's not exact. So we're watching that
No.
area. So
I know.
the reason I wouldn't have taken that trade or put in a put, especially over the weekend, IV is high. You have a lot of what implied volatility, right? The market's just been whiplashing. You know, you can push up, and then all of a sudden we push all the way down in the lower half of the day here, and then all of a sudden we gap up. Then we push down the rest of the day. I mean, the
Right.
entire 2-3 weeks of like that. You can see it
Yeah.
here.
What?
Push down,
Yeah.
it rockets.
So did I misunderstand the levels that he?
No, you would have waited until it tested the 564, or and then see if it doesn't hold. So at this point, could you be in a put? Yeah, I'm just saying I wouldn't have taken it, and the reason is because of the way how choppy this market has been.
Okay.
Okay, because what could happen tomorrow?
Another difficulty that I have is like just like Anne says, okay, I'm also like very fast in putting that put order. And then Chris and everybody suggests to put a stop loss. The moment I put the stop loss, uh, it gets executed because the moment I buy something, it comes down and my stop loss triggers. Well, I mean, if it is a uptrend, well, I mean, I'm profited because I put the stop loss. But then if it's still continuing the downtrend, I'm at a loss. I mean, I'm leaving the money on the table there. So, uh, so at what point, first thing is at what point you place an order, and at what point do you wait to place your stop loss?
And that's what I just had on there before I took it off here. If I was going to go long, this is what I'm waiting for. Waiting for a break, retest of that level, and then go. To go long. If I'm going short, I know it's a possibility here for it to push. This can really squeeze. Why? You have all these sell orders here, and there's probably still some there because it came back down at the end. And look at that volume compared to the rest of that entire day. That was the highest volume for that day. You see that?
Yeah.
That's open. So the entire day, the highest volume came at the end of that day. And they're able to push it down. So that's telling me there's still a lot of orders probably sitting up here. So this is why. Why does a break in the retest work on the level like this many times? You have these sell orders here, right? At this point, it's moving up. What is it doing? If I have a put here, what's happening to me here?
You're getting stopped out.
Right? When you get stopped out, what type of order is being put in?
Buy order.
There you go. So these stops getting triggered, what are they doing? They're knocking them out. They're creating liquidity. They're just getting rid of all the shorts, all the puts up here. They're going to come back, see if they can get you more in because there's probably more people trying to short it, saying, oh, you know what? It ain't clear it. I'm going to go short here, for example. The idea is I want you to understand the psychology. The market is a psychology. They're
How
probably
so?
trying to go short here, right?
How so is it a psychology?
People put in orders,
Oh.
whether it's algorithms, computers that are putting orders in, limit orders, algorithm. Who creates them? People do.
Hmm.
So this area that I see and that Chris saw, what? We're saying, hey, there's a bunch of people with a lot of short orders here. You know, an alien didn't come in and put that in. People did. Right?
Yeah. So how can I save this 561 put tomorrow?
Well, you're going to wait to see here. Let me finish my thought on this.
Sure.
We asked on that. So what happens is these people are getting kicked out. They draw in more people that are trying to go short. They go right to that level and they rip it up. Why? And a lot of times, if you notice on this move, you're going to get some good volume candles. Why? They're going to, all these other people that try to go short, they're getting stopped out, add to the buying pressure, and then they take it up. Okay?
Okay.
If there's not enough buying pressure, you're going to see this, a complete breakdown, which then you probably might be okay. And the reason I'm going to say I wouldn't have taken that one,
Yeah.
let me show you something else. If I go here.
So you're saying it was too choppy to take that order at 562.
Correct. You get this consolidation. It's a Friday. Look
I
at
actually
everything
thought
from.
I actually thought that was going to be a double top, the first two peaks. I'm like, oh, it's a double top. It's going to go down, and then it didn't.
Correct. And this is why I don't use double tops and double bottoms. And I'll explain to you why. Right here, yeah, you can say you have one, maybe two if I wrote this line, depending on how you draw it. Here.
Yeah, and
Double
that's where I
one,
bought it.
two, three. Oh, okay, it's gonna drop. Guess what?
Yeah,
They just
I
baited
bought.
you in on the break, built more liquidity, and then broke out.
Yeah, I
This
bought it
point,
at the
this
bottom of that second double top.
this point right here, where it did this, it's killing off these shorts right here.
Yeah.
Is what they're doing. They ripped it up. Okay, broke out of consolidation. Now the question is, why I wouldn't have taken it so late in the day?
Right.
Didn't have enough time because what can happen from here now? Let's analyze it from this 5 minute standpoint, right?
Well, I think that 562 at the bottom of the second double top, it was like around 10 o'clock or 10. And so I thought, well, that's about 10:30 maybe. And I thought that would be enough time. But now that you say that, I guess it wasn't.
Yeah, but I also tell you guys what time does volume drop off? Around after 11, 11:30. And look, volume's dead pretty much. You don't have anything that day. And price action's doing this.
Hmm.
Really wiki action right here. You can see it. Booming wicks to the top, pushing it down. You don't have a clear direction being given, right?
Yeah, I hear
So
you.
if you go back to market structure right here, you pretty much have equal highs and almost equal lows here, right?
Yeah.
So you have orders here, you have orders here. It broke to the upside, right? Killing
Mhm.
off what? All these people going short, for example, around here. And what can this do now? This can't rip all the way back down,
Yeah.
right? This is what we like to call liquidity sweep. Swept up, break down. Problem is, it happened so late in the day, it didn't have
It
enough
wasn't
time to play out.
right.
It could
Yeah.
have done it the other way too.
That last 5 minutes when it started having some red candles, I was like, oh, I wish there was like another 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. But see, the problem is we can't trade on wishes and hope. No hopium doesn't work.
No.
You look at probabilities. Friday afternoon, it's been low volume all day. It's been consolidating for more than half the day. Right here, you can see it. Maybe you
No,
didn't see it at this point, but right about
I
here,
yeah.
I
I
would have been like, you know what? I'm not even touching anything until this thing figures out what it's going to do.
I totally thought I was making an intelligent choice by buying a put at the bottom of that second double top.
You still might be okay. We don't know. I can't predict what's going to happen tomorrow, but the idea is what? Look at the chart. What are your possibilities? What are my probabilities?
So tomorrow morning, I'll look and see what the candles are doing. What's the best way to save this order? I usually bounce out at 8 o'clock so I can go to work. I could track it at work, but I don't want to give it too much time.
Okay.
What do you,
Well,
any suggestions?
what you can do is like I did in my first video off the Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
where I mark off the pre-market highs, pre-market lows, previous day. That's what you want to do. So in that situation here, like for Friday, here's my pre-market low.
Pre-market low. 554, is that what that is?
Well, this is for Friday, so you're gonna probably have to do the same thing for tomorrow morning. Obviously, I can't do that now. see where we are doing in pre-market, if you can. If it looks like we're pushing up like this,
Then get out, just sell it.
and we start, you see how it beautifully pushed off initial?
Yeah.
It came down and then rocketed. And if you use the 5-minute ORB, which is going to put you right there.
I don't know if I want to risk letting it ride up to see if it'll go down again.
No, that's what I'm trying to show you. So, like on Friday, it would have been easy to see. We pushed up the day. We had broken that out of that channel, as I stated. You can see it on lower time frame. So on Friday, I'm already looking to go long. I'm not looking to really short anything for a scalp day trade.
Mm.
For a swing trade, I would wait to break this area here. See? That 564 that we were talking about?
Yeah.
For a longer trade. For a scalp trade, I would have easily seen here. Here's my 5-minute opening range break. Came up, came down, swept down. That was a nice liquidity sweep. There's your retest. Break, retest, gone. Once you hit your 3 Rs, which should have been roughly, let's say you got in here. Once it took out that, you could have put your stop there. That's easily a 3-hour trade before you even get to lunchtime. Done for the day. If you wanted to try and hold it longer, see if it would take out that 564, which I probably wouldn't once I saw this chop, then you'd bring your stops up to maybe around here, a pivot point. So if you see what I'm trying to say is for your put, this is what I would look for. Mark off, see what pre-market's doing. Give you an idea. Looks like we're pushing up. If you're looking pushing up, I would try to get out of the first dip you can.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to try and hold it and say, hey, maybe I can get a couple of bucks out of it, you want to look, say we open here, say your 5-minute opening range break comes in something like this. You break through, that means you're probably going to head to the downside. You might be able to hold and say, okay, you know what? Let me hold on and, see where it goes. But that's where you also mark off what? Previous day low, which is back here. And it also becomes previous day low.
Support.
That's an area you might want to look out for. Right?
So look at the pre-market flow pattern and then see what it does. See if
Correct.
it's repeating it. See if it's repeating it. And if it's
Yeah,
repeating
see if it's doing something like this at open. Okay.
maybe that 550 level he was talking about will be for tomorrow.
It's possible. I can't tell you right now because then futures are not even open. Sometimes if you look at the futures market, it'll give you an indication because futures market is going to open later today.
The futures for S&P 500, it was much lower than what Friday closed out. So it was like around 13 points lower. So does that mean SPY will come down?
No, end of the day, Friday, I wouldn't worry about it. The last little bit on futures, it tends to do that from people closing out their orders for the day.
Okay.
Because New York Stock Exchange for your stocks and options closes at what? 9:30 to 4. Futures is actually open a bit longer. So they'll have a little bit more time to do that. And that's where you see this kind of happening in extended hours on Friday. See that?
Yeah. You know that white arrow that you just showed for that you just drew for after the pre-market?
Yeah.
The top part, the first dot is at 556. So that's already below my 561 put.
I just showing you an example of what can happen tomorrow morning if you want to look to hold on to it. I'm not considering the candles. I'm kind of just making this up, saying if you open here, say you have a 5 minute opening range break. This is what I'd be looking at to go short.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Since
love
you're
what you
already
do.
in a short, that is. Yeah, so you're going to have to like kind of ignore the candle because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow morning pre-market yet.
Oh my gosh. I'll DM you and let you know what happened. Well, you'll know.
I'll,
Um,
I'll be on probably, yeah. Usually I take a peek at pre-market.
how much time, like I've been doing it before work. You know, I get up at 6:30. I'm here in California, and I give myself about 8 till 8 o'clock. And then I have to drive to work. And then when I get to work, I kind of think about it and look at it while I'm working, which is stressful. I'm starting to think maybe I'll just be done at 8 and just quality of life. It's too much to work and to do this at the same time.
It can be. What you can do is you integrate the 5 minute, and what also works good is this. If I change this to, uh, let's make that thicker. This right here, what I like to do is also use a 15-minute opening range break.
Yeah, I bounce around between the 5 and the 15. I watched Curtis. He did a 4 hour. He likes the 4 hour.
Everyone has their preference. I'm a quick scalper, so I will use 5 and 15 opening range break on this. Some people like the 4 hour. Okay, but his 4 hour he likes to use. He does use it for day trades, but he primarily like swings a little bit out. So that's his method. What he likes with EMAs. I'm primarily a scalper. I will only swing off of daily and weekly time frames, and I look for entry on like an hourly or 30 minute or 15 minute. So
Okay.
everyone has their system of rules, you know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
And you,
mean what I'm doing is wrong or what Curtis is doing is wrong, or Mario does it a certain way or Alpha doesn't. We all have our systems, and it goes back to what I state in the Discord. What's your plan? What's your trade plan? Well,
yeah.
I have my set of rules. I like to wait for a break and retest. I also use a anchored VWAP. So for me, this is primarily what my chart's going to look at like on that morning.
Hey, Face.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, there's a question in the chat
Mm.
about the stop loss and trading view. Would you mind showing us that? The person is asking, how do
How do
we
you
adjust
adjust
our
this double and trading?
yeah.
Are you trading on Trading View or like futures, or what are you doing?
I'm not sure the person wrote it in and I was
Yeah.
one
Hey, yeah, options. Yeah. So like if I'm trading options, I've seen where while in the trade, one can adjust the stop loss um before getting out of the trade, if you follow what I'm saying. I'm just trying to figure out how to do that while using Trading View. Normally I would use Webull, but I found Trading View, I think is that option that most traders use. Um
Trading View doesn't allow you to trade options except one or two brokers on it. Um, I actually use Webull on it, and if you
okay.
click on the option itself, you can get a chart for the option, and you can slide your stops and take profits on it directly. But if you're doing it from Trading View you got to remember is just a charting platform primarily. You can link up down here brokers. So I have a
Yeah, I
Webull.
have it linked. Yeah, I
Okay,
have my Webull linked. Yeah, it's just like
but you
me, like
can't.
I
But
know
you
how to
can't.
place the
You
option.
can't. You cannot do options with it being linked. You can do shares.
Okay.
So, but on Webull itself, if you click on it on the actual option
No,
order
I mean
you have
trading
and go to a
in
chart,
trading view we can do options.
on what broker? The only one that I'm aware of, I know, and I don't have an account for them is like TradeStation, and I think Interactive. I think might you you can't trade directly options on the chart
Uh,
unless it's on that broker that I'm aware of, and I don't use either of them. I use off of Webull. If you click on it, you can directly go into. You get a chart that looks like this, but it's your premiums really instead of the stock price. So what I'll do is I'll have TradingView open to watch price action, and I'll have Weeble open on my other monitor to see, where I should slide it up or slide it, take profits, whatever, and do that. And you're able to do it, just like this off of here. You
Right.
can
Yeah.
grab it.
Where it looks like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So you're talking about this tool, then?
Right. Yeah. That like using that tool. So when like how you just adjust it, like your
Oh,
stop loss, yeah, in that area, like
yeah, it's in
can you
forecasting
do
right
that
here.
on Webull?
Yeah, you can adjust the order itself on here on Weeble.
Okay. I got you. I'm new to options, you guys, so I apologize, but I appreciate you showing me that example.
Yep.
And Face, I wanted to thank you for all of that information that you gave me first thing.
No problem. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
Any
I just checked. I mean, you have to have a Webull or a trading platform to buy the options, but you can see the chart for the options within TradingView as well.
Correct, but you can't slide your stops or anything on it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. What I do is I have price action and trading view. In my Weeble, I'll actually have the chart open for the option contract itself.
Yeah.
Because there I can adjust my stops, bring them up to break even, or make sure they're locked in profit if I get a good push. I have my take profits marked off. That I do on Weeble, not on TradingView. All right. Next, anyone else have anything?
Can you just go over what you just did with the um is it called the forecasting tool, where if you're deciding to either take a long position or a short position, how do you apply it? Do you apply it directly on the candle that you want to get in on?
It can be, or it can be a particular level. I'll look at. So, say I was going to go long, like on this one, I probably would have went long right about here off this one. I would have went long because it's above my 5 minute opening range break. I got a break and retest. The yellow is my VWAP for the day. For something like that, if I wanted to be really tight, it'd be like this. If I wanted to get a little more breathing room because I can see it's really wicky, I could go down, say, about here. And then from there, all I'm doing is looking at the ratio. And I'm going to target out 2R, 3R. I like to try to get at least a 3R out of my trades. So there we go.
So what made you choose that location?
This location,
Yes.
here's my 5 minute opening range break. See the yellow rectangle I got going across?
Yes.
That's my anchored VWAP for the day. So I got to, after the first 5 minutes, I got the push. I'm waiting for a break. There's my break. I'm waiting for a good retest. Didn't get one. It failed. Went all the way down here.
Uh-huh.
But I see this massive wick come in with good volume, right? What is
Okay.
that telling me? People are pushing this. I'm still waiting. I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to take this. Right here, what do you notice? It pushed down again, but it's actually higher than that one,
Uh-huh.
right? Then I see it anchored VWAP right here. It broke above, came down, and my next candle would open here on a green, right? Push up, it's starting to close above. So this right here is also a break, retest, right? And now shit's going. So on this candle, I'm going to get in somewhere in here. Might even wait once it takes out anchored VWAP. I want an extra confirmation. That's why I would have been long there.
So because it broke the VWAP, you in your mind you were thinking it's gonna start going up. And then from that's one confirmation. And then from the retest
Correct.
and
There's
okay.
a break again. Here's a retest. I do
Mm,
this normally in an even lower time frame. On scalp on futures, I'll go to 1 minute, 2 minute. But you can do this on a 5. You can
uh-huh.
see it push, break. There's my retest right there, right?
Right.
And now when this candle forms, it's opening here. So when I see it open, it's starting to push. I'm going to get in somewhere probably in this candle. If you wanted extra confirmation, you wait till it closes.
Okay. Okay. So then on that, if you go to candles back, one, no, one go forward,
That
Okay.
one?
forward one more,
Mm-hmm.
right there. So you see how it went all the way down?
Mm-hmm.
I got caught right there. So
You got caught. You were trying to go long right there?
I was trying to go short.
Yeah, you jumped the gun.
Right. So I should have basically waited for that candle to close, correct?
You would have waited for the candle to close, yes. And then once you, even in the middle of it forming, I wouldn't have gone short. Because on the green candle, here, let me, that's,
I caught it way at the bottom though, right there.
you went in right there.
Yes.
Oh, do you use the opening range break or no?
Well, that's what I call myself doing.
Well,
No,
yeah.
to the downside though.
Sorry?
I'm sorry, I didn't know I was unmuted. I was talking out loud. My fault.
No.
No, your comments are welcome. I want to know what I did wrong.
Yeah, so if I was doing it, I wouldn't have done it because you see, look at the previous couple of candles before. They
Uh-huh.
try to push it down. And you got this massive wick with a tiny body.
Okay.
So this candle, it opened here.
Uh-huh.
They try to run it all the way down.
Right.
Bulls said no. Massive wick, short body. They
Okay.
kept trying to push it again.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, nope, nope. And it's in that where? That 5 minute opening range break area.
Okay. Yeah.
They couldn't break through. And
Okay.
this one, they said, oh, we're not going to let you get lower than that one.
Mm-hmm.
And what you see, what I marked off here, that was my 15-minute opening range break.
Okay.
So if I'm waiting this long, then I'll slap in a 15-minute opening range break to get an idea. And you can
Oh,
see that even helped too, because it never took out the low. Say you miss that. You're still unsure. You don't trust it, right?
uh-huh.
For example, here's my 15-minute opening range break high. Look what it did here. Broke,
Mm-hmm.
pulled back, didn't give you a perfect retest, but pretty close to it.
Right.
Pull back, you couldn't try to go long here. At
Mm-hmm.
this late in the day, at right here, when I look at the times and the volume, I
Right.
probably wouldn't even taken that one either.
Right.
Why? Everything's in context. We just
Mm-hmm.
went over earlier how this area going all the way back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of sell orders sitting here. So is the risk to reward really there for me to take this?
No. No.
It's not.
That's when I saw it, I was like, man, it's too late to get in now because it's already done what it's gonna do.
Yep. So sometimes it's better not to take the trade if it's not clear to you.
Right.
Or sometimes if it didn't give me a chance to get back in, say I was being really picky and saying I didn't get my retest all the way down, it
Mm,
went on without me. Okay, so be it.
right. And then it just pretty much went sideways the rest of the day.
Yep.
What time do you consider late in the day?
Most times in the day, you're going to get your move from open. Majority of the volume moves will come in till about 11:30. That's where your highest volumes most of the time are, unless there's news. Lunchtime is usually from 11:30, 11 o'clock forward. Look at almost any chart, you will notice you'll get a lot of chop action. Sometimes you get a good liquidity sweep of about just about when they come back from lunch, which puts you at about 13:30, 1 o'clock sometimes. You didn't get one that day, but you'll see it on the chart. Let's see. I think we had it the day before around that time.
I
You
think
said
you said
11:30?
you're from California, so it'll be about 8:30 our time. I'm in
Yeah,
California.
my charts are always to whatever the market time is. So this
We're
is locked
California.
into Eastern.
Oh, wait a sec. So 11:30 your time, 8:30 my time?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. So once you get that, you'll notice volume dies off. You'll get chopped. Then what happens is I'll try to stay out most of the time unless there's news or something interests me or I see a potential setup that will happen. Might take a scalp in this area, but normally I'm sitting out. That's where you'll notice me playing around. And I'll come in the chat if I have time. Because I'm not in a trade at that point. I'm usually done back here in this area.
Okay. Thank
I'm already
you.
through for the day. I might come in at the end of the day to see if I see anything to possibly take. But on this day, it would made no sense because, like I said earlier on the play, it's consolidating. I know there's a massive supply zone here. So this thing could have ripped, squeezed everybody out, or it could have dropped like a bad habit. Too late in the day to take a trade. So that day I wasn't even interested.
So, Face, is it better to do the ORB on the 5 or the 15?
I usually use both. To tell you the truth, I'll mark them off. If I don't get a play right off the beginning, right here, but you got to realize too, a lot of times I like to use a 1 minute or 2 minute. So a lot of times I'll get in and I'll be gone out. So where are we here? Friday. When I saw that channel break here, I was waiting. It went all the way up here. It gave me this wick. Once I saw that wick and I saw this on the 1 minute, I actually took that scalp right in here. But see, it's all relative to your time frame. I'm
When
trading on a 1 minute.
out? When did you get out?
On this one,
Yeah.
I probably got out. I think I got out somewhere like this, more or less. I got in the middle of this candle, and I had it like here, and it was a quick scalp. So for me, I looked for 1 to at least 2R, 3R. That was a 2R. I think I got off when I saw this wick starting to come back down.
Okay. Okay.
So that would have been a quick scalp. Because I'm
So
in a 1 minute, I'm not looking to push it. Because once I saw this range being made, and the 15 minute, and it does this, I'm not really looking to go hard that it's gonna break to one side. Because when it came back into ORB, you see what I did? It just played around, and if you notice, there's that line for that channel that I drew earlier, right? So let's make it a different color just so it's easier to see. There's that channel from the higher time frame. I can see it's testing it. So over here, I was still holding, but over here I also see a structure too, or a pattern. Here, right here, I have that. I kind of have an inverse head and shoulders going right there. Sweep down, didn't take out low of day for the day. Swept down, started pushing, pushing. My neck line is pretty much the VWAP around right here. So another trade that I took was I went long once it broke with with a good sized candle right there, no wicks. I jumped in on the next one right here. Stops here, and I was actually targeting. I think I stayed in this one. I think originally I wanted to get all the way in here. I think I got out on this one, on this candle. So if I got out on that candle there when I saw that big wick, I probably got hit right there on futures. That's a 2-hour trade. I was done for the day.
Mm,
So it's all relative. See, for me, I'm looking on the 1 minute. 5 minutes going to be a little bit different.
yeah, I was gonna ask about that too.
It goes back to your trade plan, how you trade.
you did
Hmm.
a futures contract?
Yeah, I do futures.
Okay.
For scalping during the day, I prefer futures over options. Easier to get in and out. There's no Greeks involved.
Mm-hmm.
So for my options trading is really diminished since the last quarter of 2024. I barely take options day trades now. If I do, mine will be a little bit farther out, or unless I see a really good setup. I usually don't.
Do you do anything other than SPY for your options?
I'm sorry?
Do you trade any other tickers other than SPY when you're doing your options?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got tons of stuff I look at. I
Because
mean,
I was wondering about the break and the retest, because you were saying that pretty much most of the volume has depleted like once you get to 11:30 Eastern. So are you able to see that break and retest within that time frame between 9:30 and 11
oh, yeah. It works on any
more
ticker.
frequently? Okay.
It'll work on any ticker. Here. This is good old Tesla. Let's.
Are
I
you
think I
saying there's
want.
an uptrend after a reset?
Say it again.
Are you saying that there is an uptrend after the reset?
Retest or retesting? You mean?
Retest. Retest, excuse
It
me.
depends on what level it's retesting.
Why don't you go get one?
So here's Tesla.
Yeah, I'm watching a Zoom call about trading.
So if I
And
did this,
really, I
there's
turned
your
the
5 minute
I just moved
for
my
Friday,
bed
right?
back in my bed because I was getting under my covers.
Wait, you said what now?
The background noise is interfering.
Yeah, I just muted people. So here's Tesla for Friday.
Okay.
5 minute opening range break, right? Came up. I already have this area of resistance, supply, whatever you want to call it, up here. Came up, massive wick down. Still not in anything yet. Down here, what do you see?
There's the reset, the retest right there. That
There's
the
your
red.
break. You still don't chase it, right? I'm waiting. It came here, pushed up. Now, right here, that candle. Now I'm interested. You probably could get in somewhere right here to go short.
Why are you interested at that point?
There's my break and retest.
There's your break and
Break,
retest.
break. There's my retest, and it's coming down. So you could have got in here if you're a little quicker. You might be getting in on that candle once it's pushing off, But my stop is still going to be right about there.
How do you know it's going down?
Okay.
That's part of the plan. That's how you use a 5 minute
It
opening
could go
range
either
break.
way. You don't only have to focus on the upside move. You can only take the downside move as well if you see that it doesn't.
There's my anchored VWAP that I always have on my chart. So from here, here's my 5 minute opening range break. I have my break and retest on opening range. It's under my VWAP for the day. My VWAP is sloping down. I have enough to take a trade right here.
Yeah, I see that. Thank you.
So there it is. And you hit your 3 Rs real quick. There.
Yeah,
There's my 3 R trade for the day.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
This was very, 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 very helpful.
And you can see where it bounced from. Right? Look at that. There's your closing price for the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where did price close? Price closed right there.
Mm-hmm.
Look how beautifully it did it. To the T.
Whoa,
So another
yeah.
thing, you can mark off. I have it. I mean, I usually mark them off here. I have mine pre-template done. Previous day close, previous day high, previous day low, pre-market high, pre-market low, previous week high, previous week low. This is how I chart out in the morning or the night before. And I just wait. So once I hit this, my 3R, say I didn't even close the position at 3R. For example, I'm going to be like some people and be greedy, right? I'm going to bring my stop loss maybe up to here to break even. Next level I want to see is this really going to break this? If this is going to break this, it's possible. It could try and go down lower, right? So my next big area is right down here. Previous day low. That's my next area of interest. But I can see it didn't get past the closing price. So for here, I'm killing it. take my 3R, be good. Nothing wrong with closing this and waiting on the next move.
So, Face, if a stock never retests on that ORB, you just don't take it at all?
Using that trade plan, that is correct.
Okay. Gotcha.
How do you create that template where you have the previous day low and high?
You referring to this?
Yeah. Yes.
You can pick let's pick, if I pick I'm just gonna pick this. So what it has is, let's go, you're in a default, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's normally what you have if I just clicked it from here. So what you can do then, you want to make this, I don't know, text. You can say you like to write it out. I'm just making this up so it looks different, so it's easier to see. Previous day close, for example. I want that in white because I have a blackened chart. You want your low to be green, right? Because we're expecting it to bounce from there. Let's make the line, I want it a light green. And text, I want white. Okay. So that's kind of how it looks, right? Now what you can do is right here, apply default, or you do a save as. So this is going to be previous day close, for example. Save that. Now it's there. I have it on my favorite, so the next time you click it, you can get something like this. And you see when I first put it on here, you get the little drop down widget, right?
Uh-huh.
At this point, I can pick whatever I want.
Okay. Okay.
And you see, there's the one I just made. So boom, there it is.
Okay. Thank you.
So you can have multiple ones in there, and you can do it for other stuff as well. I have it for that. You can do it. I have it for anchored VWAP as well. You have it horizontal raise. You can make them for mostly any indicator in here, or any drawing tool, I should say, not indicator.
Well, let me see the anchor view up that you have, please.
Say it again.
If we can just open the template, let me see the anchor view up you have.
Mine is like this.
Yeah.
I have a low, high, and a mid.
What's the mid?
Mid is just your normal one.
Oh, okay.
By default.
All right. Thank you.
My low will go off a pivot point that I see.
Mhm.
So I could go here, give me the low, and I want it off the low of the day. So right now I'm watching price action here.
So
It stayed above the low of the day the entire time. That was a high point at the day. I'm saying, obviously it's right here. I would anchor that here, make that a high. And you see, price stayed under. Once it took out the anchor from the high, and it's above here, and it's above the mid, that's a good confirmation for me to go long.
That's going up, right?
So you're using the anchor VWAP from the forecasting and measurement tool.
Correct.
Not the indicators, correct?
Right. I use this one here.
Okay.
There is one you can get, the auto one, which is like the daily one, which is fine. That's basically just putting your midline one like this. Your regular VWAP that everybody sees. That's what it's going to do. I just do mine manually. I don't need the indicator.
Okay.
Okay.
They don't have anchored Weeble, right?
No, it doesn't. It only has a regular.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Okay, guys. Do we have anything else, or are we good for today?
Okay, so I got a question about Weeble. So when you set the stop loss, right, it gives you like a limit price. Do you need to change that? Let's say if the limit price is 0.75. Do I want to change it to like 0.80 or 1.0, or just leave it as it is in case the price keeps going up? Moving up.
So you're looking to go long?
Yes, I'm already in a long position, and I'm trying to set my stop loss to stay in profit, and then see whatever happens from there. So once I click on the stop loss, it says slash take profit. So the stop loss already, come up with profit. But then I need to select take profit as well. Is that something I need to update or just let it ride?
No, you can update that. Like I said, if you click on the contract, you can get the chart of the option contract itself.
Okay.
And you can put the stop loss and the take profit right on there. I do it with shares all the time. If you want, I can shoot you a video on that.
Yeah, please. Because I'm afraid of. Okay, so let's say I'm already the stop loss is good in profit. Now, does it take profit kicks me out once it hit 0.75, even though I would like for it to get to 0.80?
Well, your take profit is going to be higher. Say you got in at 50, right? You could say, you know what? When it gets to 0.75, take profit, close it.
Okay.
And your stop loss maybe is at 0.25, 0.3. I don't know what the.
Okay.
I would have to see the chart.
Right.
Because I primarily don't do options contracts like that on the flat percentages. I've seen people in the chat. I don't take it long higher than 20%, 30%. Well, that doesn't mean anything really.
Right.
Say I got in long here. Say I got in long on this candle, right?
Right.
If it's a 0 DTE, this might be your 10, 20%. It just wicked you out and went in the direction.
Right.
So for me, I always look at structure. So what I'll do is say I got in here, I'm going to say, you know what? If it comes back down under that candle, then I'm good. So then that's when I use delta to figure out about where that is on the options contract.
All right.
And I think I've gone over that at the last study session. How I use delta to figure it out on options contract. That's why I don't go with these flat. Because you have a 0 DT, this wick out might be your 20%, 30%. I don't know. Especially when you're getting it at 11 o'clock in the day. And I normally don't do 0 DTs anyway. So, I look, for me, stop losses by structure. I might even go as far as this one down here.
Oh, no. Yeah, it could possibly wick down.
Yeah, it's completely possible. Once it came up here, it could wick out. But, this late in the day, I'm going to keep it tighter probably. So I might be under structure. So looking at that, I can see it's kind of holding. Give me right below VWAP right there.
All right.
For me, I'd be good with that. So then what I would do is calculate real quick, what is this risk? What is this point right here where I want to be kicked out? Could it even test further? Right, because I have this order block detector up. You can see there's a good order block here. So I might even say, you know what? I don't know, put it roughly around there. Maybe underneath it. It depends on everyone's little bit of preference.
Right.
And price action, what they're seeing. But then it always goes back to what's my R's. I could have it there. That's still a decent trade. That's still almost a 3R.
Right.
Because over here, now I'm going to target what? My high of day.
Right, high of day. Right.
That's what I'm looking for. If I take something like that, I want to target that.
That could definitely.
So my target could be up here. Did it get all the way up there? No, but once I started seeing it breaking down here, I'm probably going to kill it right around here.
Right.
I'll drag my stops up maybe up until this level, up around here maybe, depending on what time frame you're looking at. Because once it breaks here, it's breaking back to the downside.
You're already out.
Did it move back up? Yeah, it did. But I can't predict the future, right?
Right. Just got to take what it gives you.
Exactly. That's why I say I concentrate on the R's. Work on the percentages.
That makes sense. Appreciate it. Yeah, once you have a moment, just show me the video so I can watch it over.
Yeah, go ahead and send me a DM.
I got you.
I already see I have a bunch of DMs already, so if you put it on there, I'll remember to respond back.
All right, thanks, G.
All right, guys. So, anyone else have anything? Because if not, then I'll let you guys get back to your Sunday afternoons.
Yes, Face. I got one question.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I see that you normally charting on regular trading hours. Do you ever switch to extended hours?
Yeah, like I did earlier, I will look at extended hours primarily in the morning.
Okay, and then you'll switch after the pre-market. You'll switch to regular trading.
Yeah, I use it just to mark out my levels right here
Okay.
and kind of see what it's doing in pre-market right when we open. So for
Okay.
this day, I would have marked off, my pre-market low right there.
Okay.
And then let's see, I got a pre-market high, which is right there, which is right close to opening actually.
Okay.
Pre-market high there, and you can
Okay.
see
And
how
then
it
you have your
respected it.
levels.
Yep.
Right.
And then high of day, low of day. I'll adjust that as the day goes. But you
Gotcha.
can, but you can see how it respected that later. Look at that.
Right. Well, another reason why I asked that is because I've noticed that sometimes when you're on regular trading hours and extended trading hours, like your EMAs and your VWAP and stuff won't be the same exact numbers.
Your VWAP will probably be fine because it resets itself if you use the auto anchor one at market open. Your
Okay.
EMAs will all change because EMAs calculate on what? Your candles. So you have a 9 EMA. So
Right.
if I was going to throw moving average exponential, I don't know. You're like, what do you use? 9, 12?
I use the 9 and the 20 mainly. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a 9. Let's make it a little bit easier to see. So let's keep it blue. Yeah, we'll leave it on there. So there's your 9 now with
Right.
pre-market. So you got to remember how EMAs work, right? They
Right. For
calculate
every
back.
candle.
So it's calculating back on the last 9 candles. So you see it here in the blue. Watch what happens when I switch it off to regular. Look how it dropped down.
Right. It dropped. Yeah. Got you.
So that's our for EMAs. Yeah. I do know a couple people that keep extended hours and that's how they trade, but that's their thing. Um, I use it to mark my levels and I just keep regular trading hours.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate that.
Yep.
One more question.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying that I don't know if you use it now or you used to use it, Weeble's charts. Is that a good chart to use?
Weeble charts are pretty good. There's nothing really wrong with it. I used it for a while before I got in TradingView. I like TradingView. One, because a lot of the tools that I'm able to have in here,
Mm.
primarily anchored VWAP, which is one of my foundations of my trading style. So, TradingView had that. So actually, that was like the main reason I got into using TradingView. And
Mhm.
obviously as I progressed, I upgraded my plans. So on TradingView. So for shares, I like it that I can click my Webull. There's my trade weight for my futures. And I have for Forex as well. I can trade from here with all the tools and features. It's much more available than Webull. But Webull is not bad at all by any stretch. I will pick Webull over Robinhood any day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was just asking because I love the trading view, but when I'm on the go, like the other lady, she's in California, when I leave for work, I'm using the Webull chart on my phone because it's just simpler for me. It's easier. But
Well, yeah, because the Webull also is your broker as well. TradingView is just
right.
your TA. So, yeah, I mean, you can do that. And what I like about Webull is they have the OCO orders. So when I put an order in, I can put a stop in. I can put my take profit levels. I can put multiple take profit levels when I'm swinging shares. And I've posted those in small accounts challenge. I think screenshots of those. And I go about my day, go work, go do whatever I got to do. If it kicks me out, great. If it hits my take profits, great. You know, I'll come back in whenever I get a chance, take a look and see what's going on and just adjust as I see necessary.
You have a video on that, how to do the stop losses? Like,
On Webull?
yeah.
I didn't do one, but I know a couple on from YouTube that I can post, so I can do that.
Okay, I will DM you.
All right,
Okay, thank you so much.
no problem, guys.
What's the best way to reach out to you if you have a question? Are you taking questions today?
I have a couple of things I got to do. I'll probably be on later. Easiest way would be you can obviously tag me in the chat, or you can DM me and I'll get back to you. So either way works.
Okay.
I try
Thank
to
you.
be good and get back when I'm out running around doing errands. It's Sunday afternoon. You know how it is. I think I have to make a good old grocery shopping run and what have you. And this.
I'm really new to all of this, and I want to just keep reading and learning. And I was told that a lot of people don't respond to DMs in Discord because a lot of it is like spam or whatever.
No, I have mine open actually. So if you DM me, if I don't get back to you immediately, then it's either away from my desk. If I'm on my phone and I see it, I'll respond like, "Hey, I'll hit you back when I get back to my desk," or something. Or if it's something I can answer on the fly, I will from my phone. But if it's chart related, I have to look at something and analyze it. I'll let you know, and usually, I'll get back to you when I can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I did DM you, so I found
Okay,
it. Thank you.
no problem. Okay, guys. I guess we'll call it a wrap.
Appreciate it, Face. Thank you for your time, sir.
No problem.
Thank
Everyone
you.
have a good rest of your afternoon, rest of your weekend.
You too. Have a great one.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much.